Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner with ACG Math Tutoring. Hopefully, you guys are having a lovely Monday evening. You're probably like, yes, the day is done. Now it's time for me to rock and roll. So, if anything, we're going to continue on with our path of fractions. So we're going to be multiplying and dividing fractions. Some of them are proper, some of them are improper, and some of them are mixed numbers, just like everything in my life. All right, so if you want to come on in and get yourself ready, we can kind of get the basics of this step down. So what we did yesterday is we did some adding and subtracting of those fractions. And plus we did a lot of stuff yesterday and multiple times, if we may recall. We did slope sometime in the evening, and then we did a little bit for ASVAB. So a lot of the stuff that I've been doing has been directly related to GEDs or any high school equivalency exam. Also for the ASVAB, if you're thinking about going into the military, if you are currently in an Algebra 1, maybe Algebra 2 class that needs that foundational math situated, or if you're taking the TEAS test and you know the algebra part you haven't seen since you were a fetus, well then this is the live for you. So as you guys come on in, go ahead and get tapping. Hello Carrie, hello Renee, hello Candy, welcome on in. So as we get started, a couple things that you need to know when you're multiplying and dividing fractions. One, you do not need a common denominator, so that's major. But the one thing you definitely want to know when you're solving it, you can do it one of two ways. Either you can multiply straight across, which I mean horizontally, and then you can simplify the fraction, or you can simplify the fraction and then do your multiplication. Either way, you're going to get the same answer. But the main thing that you really need to know, you do not, and I repeat, do not need a common denominator. That's only for addition and subtraction. All right? So we have a little more freedom when it comes to multiplication. Okay? Hello. Okay, Sadie is saying, hi, relearning this to help out my child. Well, welcome in. I appreciate that. Okay, hey, no, you got to do what you got to do to help your child out. Because you got to know, guys, that pandemic really did some damage. I don't care what any of the officials said, it did a lot of damage. Especially if your child was in like second or third grade when it happened. Yeah, because a lot of those basic concepts were kind of missed out. And of course, you know, when they're sitting in front of any kind of TV screen, sometimes they're kind of there, not really fully, right? So, glad that you guys are here. Okay, couldn't help my cousin with fourth grade homework. Oh, all right, come on in. Hi, you can't, Michael? What you can't? There's so much that you can. All right. So let's kind of get tapping. Let's get started because I want to get started at the 1K. But right now, based on time restraints, if we can get to that 500 mark for the likes, try to get some more people in here because take a look. You probably found me on your FYP and you didn't know that you need this. And, you know, someone else might need the same thing. So if we could return the favor, that will be phenomenal. Good evening, Caribbean Queen. How are you? Okay, Barbara Wilson, thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate it because the more the merrier, but the more that we can get, especially people that say, you know what, I suck at math. No, you don't suck at math. It's just the presentation of the math. That's what happened. We all have some kind of trigger. We either have that one teacher or maybe not even a teacher. Maybe it was your classmate, so you didn't feel confident. And everybody wanted to go out to recess, but you still didn't understand the concept. That's also a factor as well. All right, well, thank you for getting me to the 1K. Here we go. So we have negative 5/4 times 1/3. So with the negative 5/4, you might see the negative kind of off to the side. If by choice, you can choose if the negative goes to the numerator or the denominator. I just want to kind of put that plug in there. Not both of them. So this is what I mean by you can solve it one of two ways. We could multiply straight across. So I'm going to put those answers here. So multiply, then simplify. So if I multiply, I have my -5 times 1, which gives me -5. And then 4 times 3 will give me my 12. Okay, so if I multiply straight across and then see if I can simplify. Well, the only number that 5 and 12 have in common is 1. So this is our answer. Okay, I could do it the same way. When I say simplify, take a look. We don't need to change this improper fraction into a mixed number before we do it. Now, if anything, it's always best to change the mixed numbers to improper fractions. Okay? So this is the best thing. Hey, Janice. Oh, Cal, thank you. So much love. All right, so let's see what I can do. Let's do this one. This is going to be kind of closely related. So if I had 8/7 times, notice I'm not using an x because, well, we don't want to use our x's. We just want to be done with that. But I'm not using an x for multiplication, okay? Because once you get into algebra, x is basically a variable. And then all of a sudden you're going to see like, oh, say 5 times 2, they'll say 5xx. I'm like, why is there too many x's? This is not porn. We don't want to do that, okay? So we want to kind of use either a dot or parentheses, okay? So you'll see that. Some of the tests are older and they might still have an x involved, GED especially. But dots and parentheses are the way to go. All right, so we can do this one of two ways. The one way a lot of people feel confident is we can multiply horizontally straight across, okay? So when we multiply horizontally, we got our 8 times 7, which gives us our, sorry, cat. When you don't expect and all of a sudden the cat just hits your leg, yeah. I think I lost my life here. All right, so 7 times 10, that gives me 70. So now we have 56 over 70. Yeah, relatively not large numbers, but not an easygoing number. But both of them are divisible by 2 because both of them are, what I want to say, even. Excuse me. One second. I love you, but this, yeah, we're not. Okay. Okay, so sorry. I couldn't take the cat anymore. All right. So, since both 56 and 70 are even numbers, all right, that means they're divisible by an even number. Usually go for the 2. But I'm trying to think, if I do it divisible by 2, I know I'm going to have to do it multiple times, right? So if I do it by 2, I'll do it. Why not? I'm going to have a 28. And then 70 divided by 2, that's 35. So you're probably like, Audrey, I mean, there's a shorter way. I know, but some people like to do it this way, so I like to show both ways. So since I took that 56 and I divided by 2, and then 70 and divided by 2, I got 28 and 35. Then I remember, 28 and 35, they both have 7 in common. So if I reduce that, 28 divided by 7, that gives me 4. And 35 divided by 7, that will give me 5. And you're probably saying, all right, we got 4/5. Yay. That's one way of doing it. The other way is called cross simplification. Okay, cross simplify. When you have a multiplication symbol in between, you always want to look on the cross to see if there's any numbers that we can cancel out. So if we go back to our original, and I'm going to put that answer over here. Right here, I have 7 over 7. 7 divided by 7, that gives me a 1. 1 up here, 1 down there. Now I have 8 over 10. Now again, 8 and 10 are both even numbers, so they should be able to be divided by 2. That's how we reduce our fractions. So 8 divided by 2, that gives me 4. And 10 divided by 2, that gives me 5. Isn't that so much nicer? Right? Isn't that so much nicer? Okay. No, don't be sad. Don't be sad, right? So much easier. I'm all about, maybe because I'm lazy, I don't know, but I'm all about simplification. Okay? So when I take a look at the original, always take a look on the diagonals. See what you can reduce. Now, if we reduce the 7s here, instead of writing out the 8 and 10s, I could have reduced the 8 and 10 right here to make this into a 4 and make that into a 5, and then multiply. Okay? So that's why I'm saying when it comes to multiplying, when you're basically solving or simplifying, you want to multiply or simplify then multiply. Okay? So let me show you that one again. So this is just one way of doing it, and in blue is another way of doing it. All right. Okay. Oh, thanks, Mia. All right. So let me give you one. Let's see if you can identify this one. So we have 4/9 times 7/4. All right. And I'm going to see if I can, let me shrink it down a little bit so I can put that last way that we solved it up. Yeah, it's going to be really small, but here we are. Okay, so use this in blue as a model. Okay, write down what the answer is. You can put it in the chat. There's no wait, just put it right inside the chat. Okay, oh, no problem, Diane, no problem. Oh, thank you. I need all the blessings I can get, Diane, that's for sure. All the blessings I can get. All right, so let's see. Okay, we got Angie with 7/9. I am du jour. The 7/9. Sadie 7/9. Kevin 7/9. Nikki 7/9. Caribbean Queen 7/9. Donna, you can reduce that 63 over 4. You can reduce that. Go ahead and give it a try. Is it Rugger? 7/9, Jackie 7/9, Casey 7/9, Diane. Don't ask me why I stuttered on that. With 7/9, yes. Okay. So this is how they're getting it. Yes, you could multiply and then simplify, but make life easy for you. Okay, nice and easy. Take a look at the diagonal. This is the same as saying 4 divided by 4, okay? If you want to say 4 and 4, what do they all have in common? Is 4. So anything divided by itself will give me 1. So once I simplified, then I look at the 7 and 9, the only thing they have in common is 1. So that's not going to help us. So if we just multiply straight across, 1 times 7 gives me 7, and 9 times 1 gives me 9. That's how everyone's getting the 7/9. Now, if you multiply straight across, you got my 28 over 36. Okay, so 28 and 36, what they have in common is 4. You could do it by 2, but you're going to do it by 2 twice. Okay, I know, sorry, the fingers were a little aggressive right there. Okay, hey Lynette, how are you? Okay, how you add fractions? Firestorm, that's what I did yesterday. And guess what? I'm really glad you said that because, and it is already up, let me unzoom just a tad, that if you go here and you type in this, do a search, you will find a playlist that says TikTok Lives. And all my TikTok Lives from February the 2nd is listed. So we did adding, subtracting fractions yesterday. I also have our 1 o'clock slot, which we did slope. And what did we do before that? Oh, before we just had an ASVAB deep dive. And sometimes what I'll do specialty things and do deep dives. Okay, so those are usually for my subscriptions only because I just started the subscription because I felt like there's a lot of people that need a little more but just can't afford me fully as a tutor. They want me partially, but just enough, just a taste. Okay, unless you want the tutoring service. Okay, all right, so go here. I'm going to take a screenshot of it. I'm going to take it away in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. So thank you for bringing that up. So let us take another look at another way we can multiply. Okay. So if anything, there's somewhere an orange heart near my name. If anything, go ahead and click on that so we can get more and more people in. Just like how you found me on the FYP, wouldn't it be nice if someone else that really needs the assistance can find it as well, okay? Got to give back, people. Got to give back. All right. Okay. So I'm going to do one more before we get another mad tap in there. So we have -2 times 3/7. Okay, -2 times 3/7. Now, this is not a mixed number in a way. Okay, we need to do some operations. So it's not like, 7 times 2 and then plus 3 over 7. What we need to do, well, actually, it can work that way. What am I talking about? It's like, actually, it really could work that way. All right. So what we normally do is we put that whole number of 2 over 1. See, it's amazing, like when you get so programmed to do one thing for so long. But I have to remember, I don't need a common denominator. All right, so I don't need a common denominator. This doesn't have to turn into a 7 in order for me to combine. That's only when you're adding and subtracting. Okay, so we're actually multiplying. First step, make that whole number into a fraction by putting it over 1. It's not going to devalue the -2. It's just going to transfer it into a fraction. Now from here, if I look at the diagonal, my diagonal is going to be -2 and 7. The only thing they have in common is a 1. And if I do the diagonal of 3 and 1, the only thing they have in common is a 1. So that's not going to help me. So this will be a great opportunity to just multiply horizontally. So if I may, I got a -2 times 3, which gives me a -6. and then 1 times 7, which gives me 7. Okay, so our answer is going to be -6/7. Okay, common denominator is only used for adding and subtracting, not for multiplying. Okay. Yep, keep, change, flip is only for subtraction. Okay, not for multiplying. I know. Yep, it's really that simple. Okay, it's really that simple. Why were you crying over it? Oh, you don't have to cry over it. Nope, everything's good now. All right? Okay, good. Okay, so now let's try another one. It's really that simple. Let's see if I can find another one. Yeah, why not? We'll do this one. Let me slide this over a bit. Use some of this space here. So if I have -5, all about the 7s today. Okay, -5 7s times 9. Okay. Oh, sad one. First, I need for you to change your name. You're not sad. Come on. You're awesome. Sometimes this brain, I don't know if you ever want that, right? In a problem, then use greater than or less than. Can you use division in a problem? Yeah, I'm going to use division, but I'm not doing inequalities, but it's kind of similarities. Hey, Danny, how are you? Okay, so Danny's got -45 7s. Nikki has -45 7s. Is it Callie? Raul? So -45 7s. Shells, hey Shells, welcome back. 45 7s. Don't forget about the negative, though, Shells. Adam with -45 7s. Ralph, -45 7s. Jackie, -45 7s. I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there, you know? All right. Diane's at -45 7s. Good. Caribbean Queen, -45 7s. Yes. Love this. Look at you guys learning. I love it. Okay. All we had to do, very first thing, is put our 1 under to make that whole number into a fraction. Take a look at the diagonals. Do I have anything to reduce? No. Let's multiply straight across. So that means -5 times 9 gives us a -45. And then 7 times 1 gives me the 7. And that is our answer. All right. So let's take it up a little notch. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. No freak out. No. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. It's gonna be okay. All right. We're just gonna take it a notch. Just a little bit. All right. Maybe a little bit more. Let's say -2 1/5 times -1 3/4. Okay. So we looked at multiplying with proper fractions. We looked at multiplying with improper fractions. Now let's take a look at mixed numbers. Okay, we totally got this. All right, a little smirk. Okay, you doing geometry? Nice, cat. All right, so here we go. Take it piece by piece. Do not let this overwhelm you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my pieces of paper and I'm going to cover one side so we can focus on one side, then the other side. So we have a mixed number of negative 2 1/5. This we want to do multiplying the denominator with the whole number, get an answer, then add our numerator. So it's going to be 5 times negative 2, which gives us a negative 10. Negative 10, well, actually, forget the negative. The negative is just dragging on. So it's really 5 times 2, which gives me 10, plus 1 will give me 11. And you always put it over whatever your denominator is. Now you tack the negative back on. Okay? Because a lot of students get this mixed up. They see this negative and they think that 5 times negative 2, then plus 1, that'll give me a negative 9. Okay? The whole thing's negative, but we're just transferring this mixed number into an improper fraction. Good. Hello, wickedness. Awesome. All right, good. John, good. All we have to do is just tack that negative back on. We're good to go. All right, bring down our multiplication. Now, we're going to do the same thing, but on the other side. Okay, we know our answer is going to be negative, so we can just leave that there. But we multiply the 4 and the 1. That gives me 4. Then we add the 3. Yes, that gives me that 7. Good. So we have 7 over whatever our denominator is, which in this case is the 4. Okay. All right. How are we doing so far? There you go, Diane. Good. Okay. Not 100, Jackie. I think that's a bit much. Okay. Now, we're done with this top part. Now we're going to focus here. So remember, when we are multiplying, we do not need a common denominator. Okay, we can just see if we can simplify. So I'm going to cross simplify with the 7 and the 5. Now, the only thing I can get is a 1 to reduce. That doesn't help. Same with the 11 and the 4. Nah, that's not going to work for us to reduce. So that means I'm going to multiply straight across, horizontally, and consider the signage. So a negative times a negative gives me a positive. 11 times 7, 77. And 5 times 4, 20. Okay. So yes, good. Yes. Callie or Raul. I'll just go with the Raul. I'm sorry. Okay, sweetie. Yes. Lavender. Yeah. Lavender. Yes. Okay. Then divide. Good. Diane. Yes. Olivia. Thank you for the heart. Okay. Thank you for the follow, guys. Jackie. Yes. There we go. All right. Now, let's just say you're taking a test and the multiple choice doesn't have the 77/20ths on there. Say it had a mixed number. How would I turn this into a mixed number? Okay? And I need it to be exact, not approximate. Okay? If you're like, what does that mean? If it's exact, that means we leave our answers in fractions. If it's approximate, we put our answers in decimals. Okay? Exact, fractions, approximate, decimals. So we're going to divide. Yep, we can do that. Now, here's the thing. It's only like I'm talking to the people that are doing like standardized testing, like GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, all those type of tests. Anytime you get an answer, take a look at your answer choices. If you notice there is a 77/20ths as your answer, click it, bubble it, move on. Okay? But if you notice your answers are mixed numbers, this is when you got to take it the step further. Okay? And also look at the direction. If they say leave your answer as a mixed number, you got to do it in order to get full credit. So just like Who said it? I think it was Miguel. We're going to be changing it. Okay, you have to take the GED. All right, awesome. And if you need assistance with your GED, I'm here. Okay, so we have our 77 divided by 20. So now let's look. How many groups of 20 can go into 7? None. But we don't have to put the 0 here. It gets distracting. But how many groups of 20 can go into 77? Hopefully you're saying 3. There we go. Thank you. So 3 times 20, that gives me 60. When I subtract, here's my 1, here's my 7. So now I have to keep, I know it's almost like you want to put a decimal there because we're so trained because of our money. Okay, our money has decimals in it, so that's why we're so trained to put decimals down. So is this 17? That's going to be my numerator because that's my remainder, and it always goes over your divisor, which is 20. So your exact answer will be 3 and 17/20. Okay, and I'm going to write the word or for my answers because it all depends. If they want it as an improper fraction or a mixed number. Okay, got it? Okay, now if they said approximate, that's when you would put a decimal here, add your 2 zeros, bring your 0 down, and then continue on. And make sure you put your decimal up here. Whatever you put down here, you got to put exactly up top. Okay, all right. Well, hello. Yes, please follow me. And then it was like the 3.85. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, because I did see it earlier. All right. How are we feeling? Give me thumbs up or thumbs down. Put that in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. And before I get started, I love the fact that you guys are here, but there's 518 of us. And right now we have 12.3. I think we can definitely do a mad tap for like 20. I think if we all mad tap, we can hit 20 in a heartbeat. Let's see if we can bring more people in. Good, Peg. Good, RBY. Is it Ruby Gems? I know I had to decode it a little bit. Share Bear, good. Jesse, good. Sweetie, good. Diane, good. Kat, good. All right, awesome. Michael, good. Notice Michael has his fun little characters. Go ahead, join our subscription party. It is a whole vibe. Good. Lavender, I see you now. Good. All right. Danny, good. Oh, Chobani, how are you? Welcome back. Good. Okay, Miguel, thumbs up. Good. Jackie, good. Big Al, welcome back. Girl. Daff, good. Anonymous, good. Okay, so we're all confident. We can teach our kids this now, right? We're no longer freaking out or breaking out into hives when we see fractions. We can do this, okay? All right. Just like that, yes. How'd you know, user? But if we can get to like 25, I can get that done. So mad tap if we can. Mad tap. Let's see if we can help some more people out. You see how I helped you out? Let's see if we can help more people out. Let's bring them to the party. I'll get this one. Okay, let me do that one. All right. Almost there at 25. Almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Thank you, Harry. Perfect. So cool. So many people are tuning into math. That's awesome, right? I also want to chalk it up to, well, this weekend, it was mad crazy. I had like 1,100 people watching me do math. Saturday and Sunday. During football. I was like, whoa, here we go. Scientific notation, I think that's what you're trying to say. I actually did that. Again, if you need it right here, right now, here's my suggestion. If you go here, because I can't say the name or I'll get dinged, but if you type this in your search, okay, you will see a playlist that says TikTok Lives. All of my lives from February 2nd is on there. If you click on it and then there's a little search bar, type in scientific notation and you'll see a couple videos pop up, okay? So if you need that right here, right now, that's a good resource for you, okay? And while you're there, if you can do these 5 things, that would be amazing. All right, not a problem. All right. Awesome. Perfect. That will work swimmingly. All right, let me write up the next one. Let me lower my camera because I'm like practically on the edge of the table. I'm like, hello. I'm like on the edge of the table, like writing. It's like, this is intense. So -2 and 3/8. I'm obsessed with 2's today. That's another thing. 2 and 1/2. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to have the previous one up so you can use it as a guide to help you guys solve this one. Now, if you're lost, if you're like, yeah, no, go ahead and put a question mark. But give it a try. Give it a try before we jump into the question mark and get crazy with it. Okay? Give it a try. Try to follow along what's happening up here so we can apply it to down here. And I'll give you some time. Okay? I'm here to help as best I can. Okay? Oh, the X and Y's axes? If you know number lines, it's basically 2 number lines crossing at the zeros. And then your X's always go left and right, and your Y's go up and down. And if you think of the alphabet, it's X, Y, Z. So your X is always the first number in the coordinate, and then your Y is the second. Well, thank you. Okay. Yep. And when you think you have the answer, because I do see a answer. So it's motivation. I see your answer. I just didn't want to say it just yet. And then Scotty, I see your answer. Welcome in. Okay. All right, and thank you for the follows, guys. Because I know it's that time of year, the kiddos or the teachers are really now they got their students, no more flipping and flopping with schedules and everything. So like people are starting to jump into teaching full force now and starting to give out their tests and exams and quizzes. So if they already had their first test and it wasn't all that grand, make sure you guys reach out, okay? Even if I don't tutor younger kids, I go from 7th to adults. But if you need assistance with anyone younger, just let me know because I know a lot of great tutors that would love to tutor your children, okay? All right. Okay, let's put some answers in. What we got? So its motivation said -4 and 3/16. Scotty said it's 4/10, just 4/10. Brandy's saying 1/4. Michael's saying -5 and 15/16. I am getting a whirlwind of answers here. Okay. Anonymous saying -95/10. Okay. Ralph is saying -4. And remember, if you're not sure, you can also participate. Put in a question mark. Okay, that's an answer as well. You know, I will totally respect that. For NC22 math test, I know the Regents. I'm not familiar with the 222's math test. I might have to look it up. If anything, reach out to me, Teresa. Just in case, if it's not me, I'll see if I can reach all my New York peeps. Oh, thank you, Jacinda. How are you? So you got negative 90/16. Okay. All right, we got question mark, negative 95/16. Okay, Shell is saying 5 raised to the 15th. Oh, okay, I think I see what you're saying. 5 15/20ths. Something over 16. Okay. All right, no problem, Teresa. No problem. Here to help. All right, so let's take this because I'm getting some interesting answers. All right, let's cover up this first set of numbers and let's go. So we're going to keep the negative on the outside. So we're just going to multiply the 8 times 2, which gives me 16. And then we take that 16 plus 3, that gives me 19. And you put it over the original divisor, which is 8. So this will be negative 19/8. Okay. Do you need to rename Bree's sister? No. This is my first time seeing you, Bree's sister. Did I ignore you? I'm sorry. Casey has 95/16. Sweetie had negative 19/8. Yes. All right. So now on this side, if I cover up, let me just put my times right here. So it's 2 times 2, which gives me 4, plus 1 gives me 5. So we got 5 halves. All right, are we good so far? So then we're looking on the diagonals to see if we have anything that can be simplified. If I do the 19 and 2, that's going to give me a decimal. We don't want that. If I do the 5 and 8, it's going to give me a decimal as 1, so I don't want that. So now I'm going to multiply straight across. So we have our 19/5. So 9 times 5, that's 45. So it'll be a 5. Carry the 4. So 5 times 1 gives me 5 plus 4 gives me the 9. And a negative times a positive gives me a negative. And then 8 times 2, that gives me my 16. At this point, I'll be checking my order pairs. Usually after I do this mixed number and I get here and I notice one's negative and one's positive and I'm going to multiply it, I know my answer is going to be negative. That's the first thing I do. I check my answer choices. Anything that gives me a positive, process elimination, cross them out. Majority of the time, it might be 2 of them. Sometimes it might be 3 out of the 4. That's amazing because then you got your answer. You don't have to do anything else. Trust me, it's not that extra. But if you see a bunch of mixed numbers and we want the exact answer, how can I change this into a mixed number? Okay, but do you see, Kat, where it came from? Okay, so yes, Danny, we're going to divide. Okay, I'm going to take it down here so we can see. So we have 95 divided by 16. The negative is going to stay up here. Okay, we want to divide these numbers, but don't forget that negative is there. All right, thanks, Michael, for checking in. So if we take a look, how many 16s can go into 9? None. Okay, how many 16s can go into 16? How many 16s can go into 95? Trust me, I can speak, guys. I really can. Good. So in the same 5, Bree sister saying 5, Big Al 5, yes. Danny, yes. Brandy, yes. Good. Okay, so it's 5 times 6, that gives me 30. So 5 plus 3 gives me 8. Subtracting it, yes, we get our 15. 9 minus 8 gives me 1. 5 minus 0 gives me 5. If we want the exact answer, that means we want to keep our answers with fractions in it. Okay? That means we're not putting our decimal point in the 2 zeros. So this would be, as a mixed number, a -5 and 15/16. So I'm going to say either one of these is your answer. Yes. So the negative, we're not really worried about the negatives. We know the negative is going to be our answer, is going to be a part of it. We want to break down the 95 and the 16. So if I do division with the 95/16, all right, there's 5 groups of 16 that can go into 95 without going over, which is 80. Then when I subtract 95 minus 80, I'll get 15. So if they want the exact answer, if they want your answer in a mixed number, you have your whole number of not just 5, but a -5, because that still carries over. And then our remainder was 15 over the divisor, which is 16. Okay. We never stop saying remainder. There's some schools that use the R still for remainders, but I always feel like that's going to hurt you later on when you're going to have to do division of polynomials. When you have to divide polynomials, they don't use the R. They use fractions. So that's why I'm just like, all right, why are you guys still using the R? But I've noticed the ones I've tutored, most of them were like in Alabama or Mississippi, they were just still doing the R's. And there's probably other places that are still doing the R's as well. But those are the ones that I've seen so far. Okay, no problem. I'll try. Yeah, we don't write the R's anymore. All right. Thank you for the love. Hopefully this is helpful. All right. My goal for tonight is 50K. So if we can make that, that'll be amazing. So that's all I'm doing for multiplying. Okay. So we did it with improper fraction and proper fraction. We also did it with a whole number and a fraction. And we also did it with mixed numbers. Okay. So I think that takes all the covering of all sides. Okay. All right. Thank you. So do not forget, I do have a subscription. Actually, I have 2 of them. And then I'll share with you a couple other things that I'm doing. If you are like, look, I would love to learn math from the very beginning. My schedule is all kinds of crazy and I don't know what to do. Well, this is what you could do. I have online self-paced courses, okay? So for GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, and if you're just working on the foundation of math or foundation of algebra, maybe you're a homeschool parent, maybe you're just like, look, I have to go back to school and I just don't understand. I have the foundations of algebra. It's almost like the whole entire course, okay? It's a total of 107 videos. Each of them has it. Some of them have extra practice problems, but they do have practice problems and quizzes just to keep you on track. And at the end of every video, there's always an exit ticket. By you doing the exit ticket, you have to watch the next video in order to get the answer for the exit ticket. You know, try to keep it like classroom types. Okay? And this is where you can go if you're interested in that, or if you're interested in private tutoring. And I have to say it this way. Okay, because I can't say it. but it's there. All right. So if you're thinking about it, you can just go here, okay, to get that information. Okay. I know it's like TikTok is testing my skills of how I can say things without saying it. It's like very interesting. All right. So, sure. Not a problem. So if you want any of the services, okay, but there is a it's usually the first one, okay, because it's my, all right. But if you're interested in like private tutoring, small groups, I know some of you guys are currently taking college algebra and you're like, I'm struggling. You know, I'm thinking about giving you guys an hour. If you want it, you got to message me, not just put in the comments of this, because once this live is over, sometimes it's hard for me to find the comments. So definitely DM me if you're interested in having, like, say, a college algebra, you know, and we can have it here on TikTok. I know they're going to take 50% of the money and all that stuff. Okay, I got it. But I'd rather help you than worry about fundage. Okay, so if that is something, make sure you DM me, message me here on TikTok. Okay, please. I always look at my message request stuff. Okay, the other one. What's the other one? This one? Okay, do I do graphing? Yes. And if you go here, I actually did a couple of them last week, to be honest with you. I used to, but I noticed that a lot of people don't want to leave from the app. We're addicted. So I'm trying to figure out ways for us all to still be here and keep the, how should I put it nicely? Keep the trolls out so we can focus on what we need to focus on. I rather do it on the Z word because I can see your faces. You can just talk, but we'll see. Message me and tell me what your preference is. Okay, so if you're taking college algebra, and you want to have like a power hour type thing, message me and let me know. Okay, all right. Yes, you are addicted to math. You getting ready to take your T's? Okay. Yes, definitely. You got ASVAB tutoring? Yes, I do. Actually, I have a gentleman tomorrow. Okay. All right. So definitely message me. Message me. Because I kind of like to get you down to the nitty of the gritty. I don't like to go roundabout because, I don't know. I just don't like going roundabout. Because I feel like we have so much other stuff to worry about. But we want to get this. Because I love how you have to take a test for a job that you're currently doing. And you're doing it well. But they just want you to jump through all these hoops. So you know what? We'll play their game. Let me just show you how to do it. Quick and easy. And then on top of it, a lot of people were very successful this summer, which I'm so proud, so proud of. People passing their GED, raising their ASVAB scores. I have one lady that worked her butt off, and she got a 96 out of a 99 for Army, if I'm not mistaken. Either Army or Air Force, one or two. And I've seen other people that came to me, and we worked with each other for like 2 sessions, and just to calm their nerves and just go in. You guys got to remember, when you're taking these tests, you don't want them. They need you. They need you. Okay? Yep, for the college algebra. Yep, it's the same thing. Yes, I do. All right. Okay. So we have negative 1/5 divided by 7/4. Okay? We could we could actually just divide one fraction over the other, but that looks like a double-decker bus. Like, that's too much, right? So what they generally do, or what some people generally say, is, again, you can do your keep, change, flip. Okay, so whoever said that in the very beginning, here you go. All right. So what you're doing is you're keeping that first ratio, which is our -1/5. We're going to change it from division to multiplication. And then we're going to flip that fraction. So it's going to be 4/7. We understand multiplying a lot easier than dividing. So now I take a look on the diagonals. We don't have anything that we can reduce. So now all I have to do is just multiply straight across. So -1 times 4 gives me -4. And 5 times 7 gives me 35. So my answer is -4/35. Yep. Nicole! Here's one of our success stories. Okay. Good. Oh. All right, so we got you, Diane. This is the place. Okay. All right, love it. Yes, Heidi, that's it. Let's just try to keep it simple. All right, so let's try this one. This puzzle piece. Ugh. One moment. Sorry. Okay, good. Sometimes I feel like I have to be like a trained person to deal with these puzzle pieces. Okay, so 1/2 divided by 8/7. Okay, look what we did with the first one to help you with this one. Sorry, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Yep, I will. I'm going to do a mixed number too. Trust me. I got you. Mixed fractions. Gotcha. All right. So Jeremy's saying 7/16. Ralph's saying 7/16. Big Al 7/16. Shell 7/16. Daff 7/16. Nicole saying 6. Okay. Is that Huggapugs? Hubbapups? Okay, 7/16. Browning 91 says 7/16. Hottie Ice, yep. Nicole says 7/16. There we go. Hello, Sharon. I see you sneaking in here. She's like, how does she know? That's easy. Yes, it really is. Wickedness. The 7/16. Genius. 7/16. End not grave. 7/16. All right. Is that Flocka? Saying 7/16. All right. Good. So all you're doing, you're going to keep, change, flip. You're going to keep your 1/2. You're going to change that division to multiplication. And then you're going to flip the second ratio. All right. Multiply straight across. Got your 7/16. All right. So let's turn it up a little bit. So we have -3 5/9 divided by 3. Ooh, she really turned it up. She really jumped it up. Now, what would I do first? What would I do first? I know everyone's like sitting here solving. I can tell the pause is like, there's like nothing moving because everybody's working out the problem. I love it. Absolutely love it. Try a fraction with the same denominator. Now we don't need the same denominator because we are in that division realm. Okay, went back and took college algebra, got an A. The first time I took physics, I thought I had it. Okay. Multiply 3 times 9, or 32 I meant, 3 and 5, 1 under 3, negative 32 27s, 99ths. Okay, keep change to x. Okay, so first thing we want to tackle is similar to what Mia said. Let's convert. Okay, yes, let's convert this mixed number to an improper fraction first. I know we're still keeping everything, but we're just doing a little conversion to make it easy for us. So we have 3 times 9, which gives me 27. And then you take your 27 plus 5, that gives me my 32. Since it's negative, it's going to be a negative 32 over the divisor, which is 9. Okay. Now, let's go into the keep change flip. Okay. The reason why this multiplication is here, actually I should put it as a parenthesis because it looks a little confusing. Because what we do is we multiply, we change this mixed number to an improper fraction. So 9 times 3 gives me 27 plus the 5 gives me the 32. Then we tack on the negative. Now we're going to change that division to multiplication. But what would this fraction be? Okay, so I'm seeing 3 over 1. Okay. There we go. 1/3, 1/3, 3 over 1, 3 over 1, 1/3, 3 over 1, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 3 over 1, 1/3. Now, originally, anytime it's a whole number, we like to make it into a fraction. So it's going to be 3 over 1. But if we're going to do the flip, we have to flip it to make it into 1/3. Okay, you see it now? Anytime you have a whole number, make it into a fraction. You're not going to devalue it. You're just basically making it into a fraction by putting it over 1. So when we're doing the keep, which is this translated or converted, then we did the change, division to multiplication. Now we're going to do the flip, which is the 1/3. So now let's see if we have, can this be reduced to 32 and a 3? No, it's going to give me a funky decimal. Okay, if it was a 2, yes. If it was a 4, awesome. But let's multiply straight across. So we have a negative 32 over 27. Okay, good. All right. There we go. Good job, guys. All right, we're just dusting off the cobwebs a little bit. It's okay. All right. Thank you, Jeremy. Appreciate it. Okay. Questions. I know, right? Get a nice little chicken bucket. That'd be awesome. Hello, Rosette. How are you? How did I get the negative 32? All right, so the negative is going to stand off to the side. So you have 9 times 3. 9 times 3 gives me 27. Now, you're going to add that 27 to the numerator. 27 plus 5, that gives me 32. And you always finish it off by having your divisor stay in the denominator. So then the negative just tacks on. So negative 32 over 9. Okay. So remember, you only have to worry about same denominators is when you're adding and subtracting. When you're multiplying, you're dividing, you don't need common denominators. Okay, that's the major difference between the two. You can't cross multiply. The reason why cross multiplication is only when they're equal to each other. So if these two ratios or fractions are supposed to be equivalent to each other, that's when you cross multiply. But when there's a multiplication symbol in the middle, you're actually cross simplifying. You're making it smaller. But the only number that 32 and 3 have in common is 1. I know it looks like, oh, you should be able to. No, it'll give you a decimal. Okay, and we don't want that. All right. Okay, let's try a couple more, and then we're done. I know. You know, just give you a little bit. So let's see. Let's see if we just go with this one. Let's see what you can do with this one. Negative 5/5 divided by 2. And then we'll do 2 more after this one. So let's see what you can do with this one. Isn't an important? Isn't what important? Browning, I have to take a look. But isn't it improper fraction? Yep. Yep. You can leave it as an improper fraction, or if you want to make it into a mixed number, you can. So it's not vital. Again, if you're in class and the teacher wants it to be a mixed number, then we have to make it a mixed number. Okay. Okay, Ariel said negative 9/10. Nicole, negative 9/10. Big Al, negative 9/10. Okay. Anonymous, negative 18/5. Sarah, hello Sarah, negative 9/10. Shell, 9/10. Okay, don't forget about the negative, Cheryl. Shells, sorry. Hugapups, negative 9/10. Mammy, negative 9/10. Wicked, negative 9/10. Flocka, negative 9/10. It's Tracy Lee, negative 9/10. Ralph, negative 9/10. Wickedness, negative 9/10. Kate, change, flip, yeah, Andy. Yes, so Browning, 9/10. Don't forget about the negative. Put the 2 over 1. Yes, Andy, you got it. Genius, negative 9/10. Shot by Flacco. Negative 9/10. Good. All right, first, we need to put this 2 over 1. Then we're going into keep, change, flip. Okay, so we're going to keep this as negative 9/5. We're going to change that division to multiplication, and we're going to flip that second ratio, which is 1 over 2. I look on the diagonals to see if I can reduce it. The only thing that they have is 1. So that means we have negative 9 over 5 times 2, which gives me a positive 10. So the negative sign only goes to one or the other, not both. One or the other. Okay? Excellent. Okay. All right, we're doing good. All right, we're almost at our goal, and we have, I want to say, 2 more examples left. Just want to get to 50K. That will be perfectly fine with me. And let me see if we can get... Let's see if we have... Okay, we can do this one. 1 6/7 divided by 5 3/4. Okay. How do we know to do KCF? When you are multiplying and dividing fractions. That's the best time. So anytime you're making things smaller, like subtracting or dividing, that's when you're going to do the KCF. Okay. Good question. All right. You guys make me so happy. I love it when there's no tapping whatsoever. It's like no movement whatsoever. Can't use the MAD strategy. Okay. All right. Change the mixed number. Yes, just chill. There we go. All right, so let's do this. So we have 1 6/7. What does 1 6/7 give me as an improper fraction? Okay, so Rashi is saying 13/7. Huggapup's 13/7. Good. Let's go with that. Good job, guys. All right. So that, since we're doing division, this is going to be our keep. Okay. So I'm just going to write my division sign. So now we got to worry about my 5 3/4. What does 5 3/4 give me as an improper fraction? Okay, so Mia has my 23rd, 23/4. Okay, switching around, Mammy. 23/4, good, anonymous. 23/4, 23/4, 23/4, I'm not too sure. 23/4, good. Make sure you switch it over, anonymous. You were right the first time. Stop flipping. You were good. All right, so take a look. Okay, so you do the 5 times the 4, which gives me the 20, plus the 3, that's going to be your numerator. Oh, okay, I see what you guys were doing. All right. And then you put it over the original 4. Okay. Now, we're going into keep, change, flip. That's what you guys were doing. Sorry, anonymous. My apologies. So you have your 13/7. You change it from division to multiplication, and then we're going to flip that ratio. So that's why some people were doing 4 and 23. 23rds. Okay. Now, can it be reduced? No. I don't know. I feel like I'm always picking ones that don't need reducing. So if we have our 13 times 4, that's 12. That'll be 52. And then we got 14, 15, 16. So we got 161. Okay. So 52 is an even number. 161 is an odd number. So, it be reduced by 3? I don't think it can. Let me see. Nope, can't be reduced by 3. That's silly. Okay, so this, and since it's a proper fraction as well, this is our final answer. Yep, prime numbers. Thank you, Diane. Yep. Good job. Love this. You guys don't need me. I could be downstairs eating donuts. No, I'm just kidding. All right, one more, and I'm going to leave you alone. And then what I'm going to do is just ask you not to put your answer up. Just hold off for like about a minute 10. And there's a reason why I have us do a minute 10. I'm going to explain that in a moment. So we have -3 7/10 divided by 2 1/4. Okay, a minute 10, and this is a 10. Go. A minute 10. Do not put your answer up. You can solve it, but do not put your answers up. It's okay, Michael. Oh, to answer your question, Brooke, it's just basically dividing, like knowing your factors. If it's 2 even numbers, it's always could be divisible by like an even number, like 2 or 4 is usually the common place where you can start. 2 odd numbers, see if they're divisible, or it can be divided by 3. But when they're mixed, yeah, you can try it. You can try to simplify it. But majority of the time, it won't be. Okay, greater grace is okay. It's all right. Thank you, Michael. Yes, 50K. Good job, guys. Thank you. Okay, not a problem. All right, and show your answers. What did you guys get? So Sarah has -74/45. Okay. Okay, Mammy has -148/90. Angelica, -7/2. Carissa, -74/45. Jeremy, -74/45. Or we can have -1 29/45. Big Al, -74/45. Sharon, we have 37/10 and 9/4. So we had 148/90. Okay. Then we have -74/45 by Hug of Pups. Erica, -120/90. Caribbean Queen, -148/90. Diane, -74/45. It's Tracy Lee, -74/45. Thanks for the follow, Big Red. Hey, Big Red, well, welcome back. -74/45. Okay, Shot, -74/45. Browning, -148/90. Shells, -4 10/90. Okay, Rainy, oh, sweet, -74/45. Okay, we got -7/10. All right. Okay, so we're giving a suggestion. Okay, Wicked Guy. We're saying -74/45, simplified. Okay, Deborah. I was doing this myself the other night to see if I could remember my high school math. Oh, well, welcome in. Welcome in. This is a great plus for refreshers. Joe with negative 74/35. Good. And then Deborah, if you ever want more, if you go here and you go to this channel, which is mine, if you want to do all these lovely things, you will see a playlist that says TikTok Lives. And there I have all of my TikTok recordings from February 2nd. So you can binge that bad boy if you want to as well. Okay? Okay, that goes for everybody. So if you want to screenshot it, I'm going to take it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let us study for the... Oh, good. I'm so glad it's helpful. Most of these answers are yes, Mr. Clean, I got you. All right, so here we go. So we are going to change this mixed number into improper. So 10 times 3 is 30, plus the 7 gives me the 37 over 10. Okay, we're not including the negative when we're doing our mixed number. Okay, that negative just slides over or slides down after we do it. Let me do it step by step. So we have our divide by 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 is 9. And that's over our original divisor, which is a 4. So now we're going into keep, change, flip. So we're going to keep our negative 37 tenths. We're going to change that division to multiplication. And we're going to flip this fraction. So now we got 4 over 9. And then finally, we finally have something that we can simplify. It only took me 20 tries, but here we are. So the 4 and the 10. Since this is multiplication, we could simplify from here. They both have 2 in common. So 4 divided by 2, that'll give me 2. 10 divided by 2, that'll give me 5. Now, if you didn't simplify from the beginning, when you multiplied, let me see what you guys got because I didn't multiply. Sorry. That would be your 144 over 9 or 148 over 90, negative 148 over 90. So since both the 48 and the 90 are 148 and the 90 are both even numbers, that means they can be reduced. So if you reduce both the numerator and the denominator by 2, you will get these lovely answers. Okay? So when we do that, we get our, see if I can get it right here, our negative 74 over 5 times 9, 45. So that's our answer as a mixed number. If you see that as an improper fraction. I'm getting all kinds of kerfuffle. So now, if you need to change it into a mixed number, you don't have to, but if you need to, we're going to do the simple division. So we have our 74 divided by 45. We know our answer is going to be negative, but we need to simplify this ratio. So how many 45s can go into 74? Well, there's only one, because 2 would be 90. So we got our 45. So when we do our subtraction, we borrow from the 7 to make this a 6. We make that 4 into a 14. 6 minus 4 gives me 2. And 14 minus 5 gives me 9. So this will give us this, or 1 and 29/45. So these two could be our answer. All right. right. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this. Makes it worthwhile. All right. Yo. Oh, thank you. Who said that? Don't forget the negative. Thank you. My Paco. Thank you. Pico. Pico de guapo. Thank you. Yes. All right. So here we are. So 1, thank you so much for your time and your attention. 2, thank you for all the taps and the gifts and everything. I tried to make this thing easy. This is generally my whole premise is to help those. I wish I had this when I was growing up because I was basically one of those kids that the teacher told me just sit in the corner and do math problems. And if I didn't understand how to do the math problem in the first place, why are you giving me a whole sheet of like 20 to 50 problems on a sheet and you're saying do these? That doesn't work. You need someone to break it down. And then plus now, I no longer have to be that quiet kid because every time I talk about that person, like didn't want to raise my hand because everybody wanted to go to recess, that was me. And I don't really know how I became a math teacher, but here we are. 22 years in, left the classroom so I can start my own tutoring business, and now it's flourishing. So not only am I doing tutoring, like all this notebook that I'm writing in, I actually designed this. So to help out with students to keep track of their formulas, keep track of their steps, and give them room to actually write their notes. Because if you ever look at a kid's notes nowadays, sweet baby Jesus, okay? Some of them are very lovely, and I'm like, ooh, I love your notes. But some of them I'm just like, oh dear God, what's going on? And if you ask them, what does your note say? And if they comment back, I don't know, there's a problem. We got to do something. So this is basically what I do on my lives. 1, to help sell my books, but not only the pages that I have here and also some of the blank pages, I also have resources in the very back. So if you struggle with understanding your multiplication tables and you need factors, like factors in order to do quadratic factoring, or if you need to break down radicals, this is the list of factors from 1 to 200. Okay, we're dealing with larger numbers. Then we have operations, certain words to help you break down word problems. Then we have the squares and the cubes, the list from 1 to 15. Then other things, like all the things that we're thinking about. As soon as I can get it. There we go. Like the rules of integers. That'll be another one that we do a lot of. Then inequalities. That's another thing. With operations, not only in the U.S., but also what they do internationally. Okay. Properties of exponents. That's huge. Then we have all of our linear stuff. So we have all these resources. Decimal operations, fraction operation. Hey, that looks familiar. We did these 2 today. Okay, we did these 2 yesterday. So in the midst of all that, we got all of the factoring. Then we have a little bit more advanced with the arithmetic and geometric sequence, just trying to keep that together. So this one really hits on all the algebra and algebra 1 concepts, like system of equations, system of inequalities, and as well as volume, a little bit of geometry, low volume, surface area, Pythagorean theorem, little trig, and our trig functions, also our formulas for area, and then conversion. So all this in one handy dandy notebook. Okay, 100 pages for the notes. I write relatively large. So with me writing large, yeah, this probably holds about maybe 3 to 4 months. But if I write a little bit smaller, it will last me like a semester. You probably need like 2 of these for a whole school year. But we all know second semester, usually they don't go too much into details with notes. So it might last you, okay? So this one is for Algebra and Algebra 1. And if you're like saying taking College Algebra at the community college level or any of those intermediate algebra classes, this will be also a great resource. I have another one for Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. So if you're ever interested in those. So how you can get the books, which this is the best time to get them, you just have to go to here. Now, it's also on the A, the brown box with the smiley face that everyone keeps trying to steal off your porch. That thing. So, but the only thing is they don't carry the special. My special is right now I'm running at $10.29, so $10.29. It's normally around $22.97. So I'm having the special only for the month of September. Okay. Now, if you also become one of my high-end subscribers, you will also keep that discount of the $10.29. All right. So that's for the notebooks, the plain notebooks. But if you like my notes, for some reason you just like, you know what, Audrey, I like your notes. Like, can I get those? Of course you can. Okay. So, is that another Audrey? Hey, namesake, what's up? Hey, so we have something called Audrey's Notes. Now, with Audrey's Notes, it's basically a scanned copy of all of my notes that I do on my lives, okay, in that same sequence. But here's my thing. There's not really a even keel sequence when it comes to these things. But let's say for instance, each of the sections will have a QR code. The QR code will take you directly to my my YT, I had to think of the words, my YT video, okay? So the video live that I have, it takes directly to that. So then you can use this almost like as remediation. It seems to be very popular right now with homeschool parents that are just like, I don't know what that is. Okay, so you can actually go step by step and take a look at the notes. And then plus here, you actually get my actual steps right in this section. So I have books 1 through 5 ready, available. And again, if you go here, okay, you will get that sale of $10.29 all the way up to and including, midnight of October 1st. Okay. All right. So right now, books 1 through 5 is available. We're currently working on book 6. And before I forget, for all my lefties out there, I got you. We actually got our own math notebook open. Look how it opens. Oh, okay. For all my lefties out there, you're like, what? She even thought of us? Yes, I thought of you. Because both of my parents are left-handed. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know. It skipped a year. So I dedicated this book actually to my father. Okay, have a nice little dedication in the front of it. You can read it. But this is definitely dedicated to all my lefties out there. So I have one. This one is for the Algebra 1 component. And there's another one for the Algebra 2 pre-calculus, which gives you a lot more of sine, cosine, laws of sines, the graph of sines, graph of cosines, unit circles, all that fun stuff. All right. All right. Yes, we have to think. Everyone deserves to learn. Let's pull the barriers away so everyone can learn. All right. Okay. Awesome. Any questions? Okay. Again, for this live, if people are coming here a little later, give me some time to upload. Okay, just give me some time to upload. And remember, I do have subscription only. If you are currently in College Algebra and you were like, I would love to have like an hour where I can ask for assistance. I would love that. Message me, okay? Don't send in a message here, just message me. I do not have a bundles deal. I'm looking for a place that can actually do bundles that's not gonna kill me financially. Okay. Thank you. I wish I could. All right. Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Berta. Thank you. Okay, so if you do need some other things, like if you're all the way into factoring and your kid is like, I don't know, have them come here, okay? Have them type that up and then do a search. Just do a search for the TikTok lives and it says factoring, boom, you'll see all the list of all my factoring videos. So no more tears, but if you want me as your tutor, trust me, I am an investment. Trust me, I'm up there. Not 3 digits, so you can breathe. Or 4 digits, we're not that crazy. But I also do something for PSATs and SATs, so if you have a kid that's gonna go, and that's a junior especially, their PSATs this year is vital because a lot of colleges are looking at that score to help find additional funds or additional programs and scholarships to help kids out financially. So that's why the PSATs for junior year is always more important than the other years. Okay. I do not teach in school anymore. I am my own entity. ACG Math Tutoring, that is me. For the ACCUPLACER, you're talking about the Audrey's notes. For the ACCUPLACER, I would say like book 3 or book 4 for ACCUPLACER. But if you're talking about a regular plain notebook with the resources in the back, I would do the Algebra 1 because some of the components of Algebra 2 will be in there. Yeah, they usually don't go too above a little bit, but not much. They do a little bit of trig, but you can get it through what I have in the back. Okay. Thank you, fabulous boss lady. Awesome. Okay, no problem. So reach out. I'll be here again. What's tomorrow? So tomorrow I'll be on a little later. I'll be on at 9:30, but I'm going to see if I can come on. Actually, I could probably come on early, like about 6:45. I think I'll be able to come on 6:45, but I'll definitely need to leave by 8. Okay, so if I can come on a little early, it's either going to be 6:30 or 9:30. Okay, my usual time is 9:30, but right now I don't have anybody at that 6:45 slot, so I might come on at 6:30, and I think I'm going to be doing graphing inequalities. I think that's what I'm doing. Okay, I have to double check, but I'll definitely be here tomorrow. Alrighty. Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for tapping. Thank you so much for the love. All right. So definitely, soon enough, I will be having those subscription only lives because mama needs to pay bills. Okay. I'm not even going to sit here and try to lie to you. Yeah. But if you're thinking that, hey, I need a tutor, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate whatsoever. If you're into college algebra and you want to do like a small group, like maybe for an hour 15, like earlier in the afternoon, we can definitely do that as well. Just reach out. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much and have a great night. Okay. So definitely reach out to me, Audrey, on what time you have now. Right now, for me, it's 8:40. For sub only, that's not Tuesday. The next one will be on Friday. So Friday, and I'm trying to do those Saturdays. For some reason, it's just not connecting, but it won't be for tomorrow. Okay? Yep. So reach out to me if you guys need anything. All right? Okay. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk with you soon. See you tomorrow. And stay awesome. Don't let anyone steal your shine whatsoever, because we need you here. All right? Please don't ever forget that. If you ever feel that you're not loved, trust me, you're loved. You're loved by me. I may not know you personally, but I know your heart. So keep it going. All right? Take care, guys. Bye now.